Hello, everyone, and good evening, and welcome to my 80th episode of my weekly 10 show. So I'm celebrating. So yeah, I'll actually wait until I get to 100 and get a message off the Queen. But yeah, no, welcome to the show tonight. It's been a great week for me actually. It's been really busy. I'm spending a lot of time obviously working on my book, but trying to find the time to write my book is probably the biggest challenge for me right now because I've got so many other things going on in terms of clients and speaking events and things like that. But it's a great situation to be in. I'm not complaining. And, one of the things I want to talk about tonight is centered around my book. It's very relevant to what I'm writing about currently at the moment. And, hopefully you'll all be reading soon. And so it's a case of really understanding what I mean by the title of the book. The title of the book is called To Hell and Back and Then Some. Now, what does that mean, you see? It can be quite... We know that saying, to hell and back. We've all been to hell and back. But what does the then some mean? So I'm going to speak about that tonight. I'm going to talk about, what I actually mean by the then some. And obviously what to hell and back means and why it's relevant to everybody, not just me. It's not just my story, you see. See, because I'm currently authoring... It's my first book, and it's a story that I think everybody can resonate with in terms of how we all, at some point in our lives, find ourselves dealing with a set of circumstances which are pretty much hellish. Whether it be through our own making, as in my case, many times I've created my own hell, um, you know, or something that's completely out of our control, a loss of a loved one, a breakdown of a relationship, or something like that, or a loss of a job, or whatever it may be. We all experience trauma and tragedy as we go through life. It's normal. Everybody on the planet will, and we all go through difficult times. We're all going through difficult times now, financially, and through COVID and all of the other things that we've been going through. So it's normal for us all to experience difficulties, and in many cases that can mean going to hell. It feels like you're going to hell. You don't feel like you can find a way out of it, and it feels like everything in your life is just crumbling and falling apart, and there's nothing you can do about that, and there's no way forward from that. So we are continually changing, transforming, morphing into different versions of ourselves in the face of adversity. It's normal, it's life. We can't change that. What you cannot avoid bad things happening. You can change your actions, and how things pan out as a result of that might well be in your control, but we can't control everything. We can't control everything that happens to us. So adversity is present time and time again throughout our lifetimes. It's normal for us to experience adversity and subsequently learn and grow from it. Often we don't realize that when we're going through the middle of a really difficult situation, because we're too busy focusing on everything that's going wrong to notice the things that we're learning, the possibilities available to us. And so it's human nature to focus on the situation from a low energy perspective, where we're only seeing the problems. It's difficult to see opportunities when we're in the middle of something that's really draining, like losing your family, for instance. How the hell are you supposed to focus on anything positive when you're going through something as drastic as that? It is possible, but it's hard. So, when we find ourselves back from hell, we often, like, some people don't, but most of us, when we experience any sort of adversity, we come back from it. We don't stay there. It comes and it goes, just like anything in life. The good times come and go, the bad times come and go. So when we find ourselves back from hell, it's when we finally come through a tough period and emerge from it wiser, more knowledgeable about ourselves, more knowledgeable about our life as a whole and the world as a whole. So we come through every set of experiences, good or bad, but through adversity, learning and growing as a consequence. So we all have a choice, though. We can simply go back to how we've always been in terms of our thinking and our emotions and our actions, and despite whatever we've learned or been through or experienced, we can always go back to that old way of thinking, which, you know, didn't necessarily serve us in the way we wanted to in the beginning, but it's natural again to, as human beings, to fall back into the same habits, into the same patterns, and carry on as normal without actually making any real profound changes, even though we've been through something that's life changing. So, I'll give my example for instance. I mean, I went to prison for something many years ago, which was my fault. I was very violent. I hurt someone quite badly. I ended up going to prison, rightly so, and I served a prison sentence and I came out. When I came out, on the surface, I told myself that I'd changed. I was changing. I moved away from certain people. I started starting a new life away from, made new friends, started doing new things, had a new job, had a new girlfriend, all of these things. So on the surface, I assumed that I was a changed man. What I hadn't done is looked beneath the surface. I hadn't looked at the very beliefs, attitudes, patterns, and habits that had got me into that situation in the first place. So it was inevitable that something would go wrong at some point again because I hadn't dealt with that way of thinking at the root. And so I turned my nose up at that choice. Like I said, we all have that choice to evaluate ourselves and change and make changes as we move through each set of circumstances that we experience. But if you don't take the opportunity, then you'll just carry on as you normally were and you'll make the same mistakes again. So we all can choose to go beyond the hell and back part. And this is where the title of the book comes in, because yes, we all go through to hell and back. Literally all of us on the planet at some stage in our life will go to hell and back. We'll go through some set of horrible experiences and we'll come back from that. But only a few people, not many people, choose to do the then some. And that's what's relevant about my book, because my book is not just about my story. It's not just about my journey. It's about how it affects all of you, everybody. And it's about how we all go through horrible stuff in life, adversity, and we all have that opportunity to do the then some and go to that next level and really use it to our advantage. So in the case of my story in the book, the more specifically in terms of the way I now live and work, the then some means the learning a totally new way of thinking, a totally new way of doing things. That's the then some for me. So using the past experiences, my learning, the growth to really propel myself forward in life and move on from the type of thinking, the way of being that I used to have, which didn't help me at all move forward in life. So however, to really do that successfully, you do need to have the right type of mindset and mental approach. Because if you don't, you won't. Simple as that. So that means becoming much more consciously aware of how your mind actually works. And how many of you are? How many people know how their minds actually work? We might read books and watch documentaries occasionally, but how many of you know how to use your mind in a constructive, positive way which works for you consistently every single day of your life? And, that means, actually being aware of everything that's going on in your mind at any given moment. It's not an easy task. It's not easy, but it's possible, and you can do it. That means removing blocks to our thinking, such as limiting beliefs, fear, assumptions, interpretations that we tell ourselves about situations. Removing these mental blocks which blur our vision and stop us moving forward in life. That means learning how to maximize your potential in every area of your life, so that whatever life throws at us, you can carry on excelling and being productive despite your circumstances. I transform my own life using the very same philosophy and way of being that I now live by and work with, and obviously help my clients learn as well. And it's a life-changing philosophy, as my life demonstrates, and when practiced by anybody and become and lived, it cannot fail to produce or create success in whichever way you measure that. So when you rewire your mindset, it can be daunting. I mean, it's a difficult process. It's not easy. If it was easy, we'd do it instantly. especially as we're creatures of habit. We live our lives in patterns which are difficult to then break free of. So just like anything new to us, it takes an open mind, it takes commitment, it takes desire and determination to change for the better. It can't happen without that. And if you are looking to move forward in your life and change elements of your life so that they're working for you rather than against you, you have to decide whether you're committed enough to do this before you try and do it. Because you won't otherwise. Simple as that. If you're questioning your ability to change, then I refer you back to the mental blocks I just mentioned that hold us back and blur our vision. We talk ourselves out of decisions based solely on what our fears and assumptions and limiting beliefs and interpretations tell us about situations. There's no point in even trying. It won't work for me. I'm not good enough. It's a lot of nonsense. You know, coaching is full of charlatans. This is another one I hear a lot of. It's complete nonsense, but it's what a lot of people believe. And that's why so many of us talk ourselves out of taking action, which moves us forward in life. Because we tell ourselves it's not going to work. We tell ourselves we can't do it. And we stop, we avoid, we don't make commitments to things. And then we let opportunities literally sail past us. And then wonder why our lives are not improving. So the only way you'll ever take full control of your life and your mindset is when you look beyond perceived limitations that we create in our own mind and remove the very thoughts present which are preventing you from taking action. And taking action is the thing you have to do in every area of your life. If you really want to move forward, increase self-esteem, build your confidence, become fearless, and start really moving forward with your life in every area, all 6 core areas of your life. And until you do that, you'll always be performing at half your full potential, because all of us only perform at 50% of our true potential most of the time, because we're not able to see what's available to us because of those blocks to our thinking. We talk ourselves out of everything. So take action and then some, because that's what this is about. It's doing the then some. And if you're ready to do the then some, give me a call. I'm still open to taking on some one-to-one clients. Not many, because I've got 2 spots left. Just signed up 3 people this week. So it's not something I'm going to be doing much longer, taking on new people, because my spaces are filling up. I'm being honest with you, because of my speaking events. But if you are interested in moving forward with your life and learning a new philosophy that works for you, give me a call and I'll have a chat with you for free, and we'll see if I can help you move forward. Have a good night. I hope this is resonated with some people, and that you start taking action and stop procrastinating and talking yourself out of situations and move forward. Have a lovely evening. Speak to you next time. See you soon. Bye.